All right, it is time for a top 50 list of films. Yes. Hi everyone, it is Shannon and I'm super excited to be here today and to share with you this list. I love going through lists at this time of year between Christmas and New Year's as we're wrapping up the years as a way to look back on things, and I always love looking at lists to see how many have I seen, or if it's a book list, how many have I read, or how many have I even heard of, as may be the case with this particular list. So this is a list that I found at the BFI website, but it's Sight and Sound's top films, or it's the best films of 2020, and it's a ranked list of top 50 films. So we're going to go from 50 to 1 and see how many we have seen. Feel free to play along at home. You can do a little scorecard, seen, unseen. As always, maybe leave some space on the side just in case another category crops up along the way, as I do find often is the case with me. And yeah, so this is actually taken from 100 of their contributors from around the world, and it's a list of films from cinemas, festivals, and online. This year was very different for film, as it was for most things, so it's interesting to see the impact of that. But I was excited to check out this list, and I hope that you are as well. As it is 50 titles, I'm not going to talk too much about them, and that will probably not be too hard because there's a fair amount that I do not know too much about. I will leave, of course, a link down below to the article at the BFI site for you to check out for more information. So let's start with number 50. Which is The Vast of Night. I was so excited. This film I've actually seen and talked about on the channel, and I really enjoyed it, and it's available here in Canada on Prime, so I'm thrilled that this was on here. So there we go. Next up we have The Truth. This starts Catherine Deneuve, Juliette Binoche, and Ethan Hawke, and is directed by Kurita Hirokazu, who I think I've seen other films that they have done, but I had not heard of this one. Next up, The Invisible Man. Very surprised to see this. This was an early release this year. I think this is one of the few films that did get a theatrical release because it came out in February. I did read the book based, the H.G. Wells book, and in anticipation for this, or just like around the same time. So I did not love the story. I have so far not enjoyed any adaptations really. The black and white one was okay. So I was surprised to see this one, but it was on the list at number 48. Richard Jewell, this is directed by Clint Eastwood. I'd never heard of it. Collective, this is a film from Romania. I'd never heard of it. Clemency, this is a prison drama, and it stars, I think it's, yeah, Alfred Woodard, who I love. Definitely an actor I would watch everything that they do. Borat, subsequent movie film. I think this one is on Prime. I have not seen it. I did watch the original Borat because I got a review copy because it was quite a while ago, but I don't even know what to say. Birds of Prey. This was another one that got a theatrical release because it was from back in February. I haven't seen this one yet though. Another Round. This one actually got pushed to 2021. It stars Mads Mikkelsen. You can see Mads Mikkelsen. And it is a Danish film, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it. I actually heard about it through Instagram because I follow Mads Mikkelsen on Instagram, because why wouldn't you? He has Great Fan Art Friday where he shares fan art people have done, and it's amazing, and it's all different styles. I find it very exciting. I gotta get back on track because I could talk about Mads Mikkelsen forever. Okay, next up. Okay, this is About Endlessness. It is directed by Roy Andersson, and it is from Sweden. I could barely find any information. I had to add the photo onto Pinterest because I found so little information about it. A Personal History of David Copperfield. This is based on the novel. The 40-Year-Old Version. This is on Netflix, and I've heard good things about it, but I haven't seen it. Tenet by Christopher Nolan. I gotta say, I wasn't impressed with the trailers, like the clip trailer. Yeah, was not. I know a lot of people were really excited about this one. For me, there was not a pull for it. She Dies Tomorrow. I hadn't heard of this one. Relic. This is an Australian film about 3 generations of women. Had not heard of it. Definitely want to see it. Mogul. Mowgli. I can never say that. Oh, I can never say it. This is by Bassam Tariq, and it stars Riz Ahmed. And it looks very compelling. This is the poster that I can find, but there's also a lot of ones that are in a club, because I think the protagonist is a DJ, but I couldn't find that one. All the other images I found about this film were like that, so it's so weird when you start looking what you find. This is the only one I found. Mank. Oh, I want to see this because Gary Oldman. He's another actor. I just watch everything. This is a portrait of Herman J. Mankiewicz, and it's directed by David Fincher. I'm surprised, actually, I hadn't heard of this one. This is Limbo, directed by Ben Sharrock. It's a UK film. Hadn't heard of it. Host, a Shudder original. That's exciting. This is a housebound horror film. Sounds interesting. Emma. It's a Chilean film. Hadn't heard of it. Martin Eden, Italian film. Hadn't heard of it. Little Women. I think everyone, especially on this channel, will have heard of this one. It's based on the Louise May Alcott. Is that the author? I'm not a fan of Little Women, so I didn't watch this. It is on Prime, so I feel like I should, just because it's available. And I also read it when I was a kid, so maybe I would feel differently about it now. But I feel like I wish I loved it, but I don't know. Maybe I can love the film. I don't know. Or enjoy it or appreciate it. I don't know. Maybe I'll give it a shot. We'll see. Les Miserables. So this, I think, is a modern take on it. And it's a French film. And His House. This is a Netflix film. I don't know if it's on Netflix Canada. It's a UK film. It's directed by Remy Weeks. Hadn't heard of it. The Disciple. This is an Indian film. I had not heard of it. Baby Teeth. This is an Australian film directed by Shannon Murphy. I hadn't heard of it. Undine. This is a Germany-France co-production directed by Christina Petzold. I hadn't heard of it. The Inheritance. This is a US film. Hadn't heard of it. Oh, I meant to say, okay, so this next shot is quite disturbing. Sorry. This is going to be Possession, directed by Brandon Cronenberg. It's a UK-Canadian co-production, so I'm going to show the image now. I find that extremely disturbing. I don't know the connection. I know there is a connection to David Cronenberg, but I don't know what the connection is. Sci-fi assassins and biohacking. That part sounds interesting. Probably will be disturbing. Okay, disturbing imagery off. This is The Year of Discovery. It is a Spain-Switzerland co-production. I hadn't heard of it. Cajillionaire, directed by Miranda July. This is an American film. Miranda July, she directed... Oh, it stars Evan Rachel Wood, Deborah Winger, Gina Rodriguez, and Richard Jenkins. I'm trying to remember. I did see something else directed by Miranda July, and it was very art house, interesting, different, and I really enjoyed it. So this is definitely going on my to be watch list. Next up, Wolf Walkers. This is an animated film. Ireland, France, Luxembourg co-production. Hadn't heard of it. The Woman Who Ran. This is a South Korean film. I hadn't heard of it. Bakaru, I think is how you pronounce that. It's a Brazilian film. Hadn't heard of it. David Byrne's American Utopia is directed by Spike Lee. Shirley, directed by Josephine Decker. This is based on Shirley... Oh my gosh. It's Elizabeth Moss. I can't believe that. I cannot remember who... I can't remember who it's based on. Is it Shirley Jackson? Might be Shirley Jackson. I will note below who it is based on. I do want to see this a lot. That was embarrassing. Moving on. Next up, The Assistant. This is an American film directed by Kitty Green. It's got lots of accolades. I have never heard of it. Julie Gardner and Matthew McFadden. Julie Gardner. So I don't know about that one. Okay, Mangrove, directed by Stephen McQueen. This is a film that's within the Small Acts collection, which is something I hadn't heard of before. And it says Amazon Original. I don't know if it's available on Amazon Prime, like Canada, but that would be awesome if it is. Da 5 Bloods, directed by Spike Lee. I think this is on Netflix. Yeah, it says Netflix there. I think it's on Netflix. Bloody Nose, Empty Pockets, directed by, I think it says it's a Ross Brothers film. I hadn't heard of it, don't know anything about it. This is Days. This is from Taiwan, directed by Tsai Ming Lang. Hopefully I got that pronunciation correct. So I had not heard of this one. Rocks. This is directed by Sarah Gavron. It's a UK film. Nomadland, directed by Chloe Zhao. It's an American film and it's based on the Jessica Bruder nonfiction novel, and it stars Frances McDormand. I think, yeah, Frances McDormand. So I'm really curious about that. I might see if I can find the book and read it first. So, yeah. Then Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always, directed by Eliza Hittman. I hadn't heard of this one. Dick Johnson is Dead, directed by Kristen Johnson. This one I had heard of. This has popped up on a lot of lists. I think it's on the New York Times. They have a great newsletter for watching, like film watching and stuff. And I think it's one that pops up on their, like, stuff to watch on Netflix kind of thing. And I think, yeah, it is on Netflix. So there's that. Saint Maud. I think this one's a horror film, or horror-ish, or a thriller. It's a UK film. It's directed by Rose Glass. I'm Thinking of Ending Things. This is based on the novel by Ian Reid, and it's on Netflix. And I really want to see it. First Cow, directed by Kelly Reichardt. This is an American film. I had not heard of it. I have no idea what it's about. Is it a documentary? Graceful tale of human connection set against the great American wilderness. Have you heard of First Cow? Next up, Time. This one is a documentary. It's directed by Garrett Bradley. I had not heard of this one. Oh, it says Prime. I wonder if it's available on Prime here. Lovers Rock, directed by Steve McQueen. This is another film in the 5-film Small Acts collection, and it's 110 minutes, and it got a 95 from Metacritic. So that's 2 by Steve McQueen, both from this Small Acts collection, which I have no idea how you watch it. Well, it says Prime, so maybe it's available here in Canada. I will have to take a look at that. And that is the #1 film. So those are the 50 films. And I gotta say, I am shocked, although given the year that it is, maybe not so shocked, I have watched one. I have watched The Vast of Night, and that is it. There were so many films on this list that I haven't seen. It just feels so, like, I haven't been super, like, attentive to film, and like given the year that it felt like, you know, like I wasn't going to festivals or anything. I can't go to festivals anymore, but like still, like it's just everything has been very different this year. But there's been lots of stuff on here that's on Netflix, lots of stuff that is on Prime, and lots of stuff that I haven't heard of. So I might try and see if I can make this a project or something to see how many of these films I can see by the end of maybe like next year, or at least just see how many are available, or see if I can watch all the Netflix one or all the Prime ones or something like that. I might turn it into a bit of a mini project. I know I definitely want to see I'm Thinking of Ending Things, and I'd love to read Nomadland. I have a hard time saying that, Nomadland, and then I guess see if I want to watch the movie, and I definitely want to see Shirley. And the fact that The Invisible Man is on here makes me more considering on if I want to watch it. I want to watch it because I read the book, but I was reading the book anyway, so it's a bit of a weird situation. So anyway, but there's lots on here that now I am curious about, and I definitely want to check availability. Let me know how you did. Let me know if you did better than me at 1 out of 50. 1 out of 50. and I really liked it. So maybe that is a good place to start. If their least best film is one of like my favorite films of the year, I mean, it's a good list to work on, right? So there you go. Let me know how you did on the list, and let me know maybe what your favorite film that you watched this year, whether it was a 2020 release or an earlier than 2020 release. I would love to know. Thank you so much for watching. I will be back soon with another video. Take care.